viewers, and welcome back to the Self-Made Auto Channel. That's a 2009 Kia Rio 5. It's got the big 1.6 in it. Came in, needs an inspection, the horn doesn't work, and the money light's on. Came in a little early today, brought it in, picked it up, looked it over for inspection, make sure the thing's not a complete toilet before we get too far. It needs a left front lower ball joint, so mechanically it looks pretty decent. It has a code in it for vehicle speed sensor, and it had some misfire codes. So at that point, took it for a shake. The misfire codes were pending; they weren't mature codes. Drove it; it seemed to drive fine. Drove it under, cold, warm, different types of throttle, different engine loads. Didn't get a misfire. Vehicle speed sensor is not reading on the scan tool. I did notice. Speedometer works okay. Vehicle speed on the ECM didn't work, or in the ECM, what the ECM's looking for doesn't work. I did notice when I had it up in the air that the right front speed sensor, somebody appears to be new, had never sees all over it. I noticed where it went into the knuckle. It reads off the front axle. It had a lot of rust under it, so it was picked right up, right off the tone ring. So while I was under there, I just took a 10 mil, popped it out, cleaned the rust off, a little tube of fluid film, stuck it back in. That way I knew the air gap was good. I guessed when I had it up that that was probably going to fix it. But when I went on my drive to check the misfire, I see it didn't work, so now we got to investigate it a little further. I'm pretty sure on these cars, on the Kias, the right front speed sensor is the one the ECM looks for. I could be wrong, but at this point, we got to look at service data, see what's going on with it, see what we need to test, and kind of take it from there. So grab the scan tool out of it here, and we can see, so it's a P0501 that it's showing, vehicle speed sensor A circuit range performance. So that's that. So I had it look on service data, and it does work off this right front speed sensor because this is a non-ABS vehicle, so it has just one speed sensor. The wire runs up here and must plug in up behind this little shield here. See, it's already broke on the inside, the little tabs broke off. We'll take the remaining screws out, see if we can get it down so we can reach up to get it unplugged, and then we can test it. Retainer underneath. Alright. Looks like it's been wrecked, must be at some point. I see overspray on stuff and different jug. Overspray on the harness. So I'm going to take it on, just unplug the speed sensor. Just want to have a look at the connector to make sure that's not completely cruddy. And then I'm going to get a little prying apparatus, see if I can get the connector off the body so we can get it down here and hook a scope to it and spin it and see if it's making any voltage. Just want to make sure we don't see anything obvious. Like I say, it definitely has been wrecked at some point. So anytime you see that, you always want to, just kind of visual inspection, look for pinched wires, like if the thing got, whacked, wire got pinched, didn't break the harness or something, and perhaps the body shop didn't see it. But let's get that connector down where we can work on it. Come on, baby. Kind of loose. Let me get a different probably could have stuck them on what they don't belong on. Let me try different ones here. I think we'll be okay. So we're just going to be looking for AC voltage when we spin the wheel. We don't want there goes the light, first time today. Won't be the last. Let me get a little clip just so I can hold these wires so they don't yank out of there on me. Nothing, folks. Got it up on 5 volts. I figured I'd zoom in on it so we could have a look at it, but we have nothing. I just make darn sure I've got a good connection here. I guess it would make sense. I just thought the speed sensor looked like it had been recently replaced, but negative, Ghost Rider. Looks like we got a bad sensor. So we know we have a bad speed sensor. The tone ring is in good shape. You have to take my word for that. It's not broken. The next $1 million question is, how do we know the ECM and the wiring is good? Well, that's pretty easy. We're going to use our signal generator like we used in another video. Pop a signal on it at 200, 300 hertz, and then look at the scan tool and make sure that we have speed signal. Guess we could have used this for the whole job. I'm going to use the AES Wave U scope. It does have a built-in signal generator. It's like a 0 to 4 volt square wave. You can change the duty cycle and frequency. Now it's going to be looking for an AC signal, but I think that this will work. It has some little probes. They're pretty tiny, and it doesn't give me the ability to just probe into the leads that we had. So I've got a couple T-pins. I'm going to see. Right now I've got it set, let's see, it's at 900 hertz. We'll put it at 400 hertz. And then see if we can probe into it without our pins touching. And I've got the scan data right there. Let's see if we can very gingerly do this. I'll probably touch them together. Yeah, already shorted them together. If I can spin them, I don't know. Hey, look at that. Leave that right there. So we are at 400 hertz, and you can see we're going 33.55 mph. So let's put that up in a graph, or up on a screen. Slow her down, that's where we were jiggling it in there. And what we'll do is we'll increase or decrease frequency, and we should be able to see that move. I'm going to go without touching the wires here. So we'll go down first. So we're down to 100 hertz, and 200, 300, 400, 500, 600, 700. Everybody got 8, 9, 91. So we're at 1,000 hertz or 1 kilohertz. Okay, that's Kia just repping 166 mph. And that's as fast as it can go. So we'll go back to 900. So you can see, obviously, it works. The Kia cuts out at 198 miles per hour. We'll take her down to 300 hertz, which was around 25, I think. I've noticed on GMs and other manufacturers, 20 hertz usually represents about 20 miles an hour, 300 about 30 miles an hour, and so on and so forth. That seems to be kind of a general rule. So we're going to unplug our signal generator. We're going to call it good. We're done. I guess that's that, folks. This needs a speed sensor. We know the ECM's good. We know the wiring's good. Nothing more we can do. Pretty easy. I'm really certain that thing looked pretty new down there, but again, I'm wrong. I'm going to see if I can get a speed sensor, see if we get the job. If we do, I'll show you the fix. If not, I won't show you the fix. You're just going to have to trust me. Because that's what it's about, folks. Trust and love. Looks like the speed sensor is a few days out, so we're going to move on. I figured kind of a short video there with that speed sensor, so we'll just check out, see what the horn needs. Likely we'll probably have to order a part for that unless it has something to do with the previous accident. It might be a clock spring, fuse, relay, switch, who knows. Well, this is the most under-engineered horn system I've ever seen in my life. Not even a module. A simple system. Fuse, relay, horn. Single horn. And a clock spring and a switch. Wow. So, start with the basics. Just check our fuse. Make sure our test light works. We have a fuse box here. And it says horn fuse 10 amp on that. So, we'll look here, horn 10 amp, ECU horn. Assuming that's this one. On at all times, it says. Hey, look at that. Doesn't get any easier than that. Blown fuse. Wow. There is a fuse missing there. Definitely smoked. But I can't see it because it won't focus. Take my word for it. this one in there. See if this one's any good. Power. Technically. There's that. We're not going to look for shorts to ground because the horn works. In order to do that, we would have to remove the horn, replace it with a load, for example, like a light bulb. You know, press the horn switch on, measure the current, wiggle the harness, all that stuff. We'll just leave it like it is. We'll drive around town, we'll toot the horn, see if it blows. Like I say, the thing was whacked in the front end. It's all held together with zip screws and zip ties. I'll do a little visual inspection on it. We'll leave it to that. And this is what the visual inspection revealed. Can you see it? Big old glob of solder. So this wire has been cut at some point. Kind of not even really soldered together well, just kind of half-ass soldered together. So did, as a result of the accident, when something came in and hit it, you know, did it cut the wire, which is, you know, evidently hot at all times? Right? Is that what they tell me? No, that one's not going to be hot unless the horn relay blows, right? Where's their diagram? If it's hot at all times, the horn would be blowing you ding dong. So this is the red wire it runs down. Obviously, it's had some damage to it at some point. Was it damaged and then somebody blew the horn? Who knows? What we'll do is we'll just fix the wire all proper like, get it plugged back in. I followed the wires around where they go around and up into the vehicle or up, you know, under the hood. Didn't see anything else other than this glob. So like I say, we'll fix what we can see and then we'll leave it at that. If the horn keeps blowing, then let her blow, baby. Well, we'll have to leave it at that, folks. Speed sensor is several days out, whether I get it from NAP or Advance, Kia. In this case, I'm gonna get it right from Kia because it's about the same price. So we'll get the OEM part. Again, I still gotta sell the job, see if they wanna do this ball joint, see if they wanna fix that or if they're gonna do the stuff themselves. If they do, I'll try to make a supplement to this video, maybe a little additional footage at the end just so you can see that functioning, so you believe me for once. Anyhow, I believe you should go on down there to that comment section, leave your questions, comments, criticisms, concerns while you're down there, subscribe, ring that bell. And just remember, viewers, if I can do it, you can do it. Thanks for watching.